Hi, everyone. Welcome back to 7 on Travel. I'm Natalie from Voice Party Travel, and we are very excited to be here again with you today to talk about everything travel. We have an exciting episode today. We are going to talk about what travel looks like now. I mean, come on, every day is different and things can change constantly, but you've got 6 experts right here to tell you about their experiences and their clients' experiences. And we are super excited to share what we've learned, which has been a ton. So I'm going to pass you off to my colleague to introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Karen with Where to Next Travel, LLC.
Hi, I'm Amy with Make Amazing Memories Travel.
And I am Michelle from Surf City Cruise and Travel.
Hello, I'm Lael Hazan from Gracious Getaways.
And I'm Sheila Randolph with Fundraiser Travel.
Excellent, excellent. Well, I'm going to start us off by talking about cruising. See my cruise ship in the back? I have recently been on 2 cruises, only 2 weeks apart, and believe it or not, they looked different. So I'm going to talk about some of the things that I saw and some of the changes that are being made on cruise ships and what you need to know. So first of all, I am a cautious traveler. So I'll put right out there that some people jumped right back into travel. I was a little nervous, so I went in slowly. And I will tell you that I, without a doubt, felt completely comfortable on both of my cruises. The COVID protocols were incredible. The cleanliness was way cleaner than my house. And so, you know, I actually feel like the crew were just so excited to have people back on board, and were so committed to making the experience incredible for their guests. So, you know,
so cool.
The first cruise I went on. Oh, go ahead, Sheila.
What were some of the protocols that you experienced? And you said you did 2 different cruises. So
yeah,
were they different on both the cruises?
Yeah,
or?
So both were on the same cruise line. I got off one ship on a Sunday, had a week in between, and got on another ship.
It's a hard life being you.
I know,
right? Yeah, so it was, everyone had to be vaccinated, 12 and above on the cruise line that I went on, which happened to be Royal Caribbean.
Do they require the booster or just vaccination?
Nope, not just the first 2 at this point. This was February and early March, and had to test before they got on board. Every crew member had to be vaccinated and boosted, and the crew tested, depending on their position, 1 to 3 times a week with PCR tests. So felt very comfortable with the crew on board. The first cruise I went on, you had to be masked, except for in the dining rooms and on open decks, things like that. The second cruise, the crew had to be masked, but the guest didn't. So as I said, from Sunday to Sunday, it looked totally different in that way.
Totally different.
Testing was still required. So I was on the Oasis class of ships, which I was on the Oasis of the Seas and then the Harmony of the Seas.
Okay. Awesome.
So 2 Oasis class ships. So almost the exact same ship, with a few differences, but it looked different. But what didn't look different was the incredible service, the cleanliness. There was hand sanitizer everywhere, washing stations everywhere, reminders from the crew to put on a mask if a child didn't have one on, and I never saw one crew member's nose. I will
That's
tell
so
you.
cool.
I mean, and
That's great.
Great.
people
That's
wear
cool.
like a chin strap, right? So,
Yeah.
Right.
so
Great.
it was incredible. There was, I mean, most crew had on 2 masks.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
it was really, I felt very, very comfortable, especially in dining, around the food. You want to know that your food is safe and everything.
That's great.
Yep. So that was incredible. Both ships I was on were like 50 to 60 capacity. So that was amazing. It made for a very relaxed experience on board. No lines almost everywhere we went, which was fantastic. So, I really enjoyed that. One thing I will share is that the crew seemed, and if you're the type of person that likes to get to know your crew, your room steward or your servers at dinner, and I am, they really seemed to appreciate the time to share with you their experience, what COVID has been like.
Right.
And the beauty of a cruise ship is you have people from all over the world working on that cruise ship with you. And so hearing what it was like, to be away, they're on 8-month contracts because,
Right.
so what it's been like to be away from family. And so it was really like a kind of a bonding experience because we've all experienced COVID. And so I really appreciated that part of the experience for myself and my family and friends. It really was, I felt very safe and very comfortable. And I would go again next month on an Alaskan cruise on Princess, who I am. So
That's cool. That's
See my
cool.
violin, my little violin.
for me, 2 months actually. So
Cool.
anyway, so yeah, has anyone else done a cruise?
Yeah, I've done a cruise and I think that you're so right about everything. I think that the cruise that I was on recently had 4,000 capacity and there were only 1,400 people on the cruise, but the cruise was fully staffed. So there's definitely
Yes. Oh, I forgot that point. Yes.
yeah. So there's definitely still they have to be at low capacity. So that's one of the things they're requiring. But there's also still a lot of reluctancy from people traveling now. I've seen. So but you're right, Natalie. They do so much to make sure that you're safe. Even the seating in the dining rooms, it's kind of like every other seat. There are tables that you can't sit at. The specialty restaurants are half full by design.
Right.
And
the first cruise I went on, one deck was fully vaccinated and the other deck was, children.
Wow.
Right.
So I was in the dining room that was fully vaccinated. And the same thing with the shows. Some shows were fully vaccinated. So if someone didn't feel comfortable going to a show with unvaccinated children, they didn't have to. They could, and they could still see a show.
Well, there aren't any children on Virgin Voyages, but it was kind of the same type of a thing where you had vaccinated or maybe exceptions, but actually I'm wrong. It was our Freedom of the Seas cruise, which was also with Royal Caribbean. So
wow.
It was vaccinated and unvaccinated because Virgin was 100% no exceptions. So it was Royal Caribbean's Freedom of the Seas that we did in December, but it was the same thing. They had shows for people who were fully vaccinated and then shows or sections where you could be in the unvaccinated section.
Oh, what was Virgin like, Michelle? As far as all of that goes, I think the rest of us are talking about what was Virgin like?
Virgin was, well, first of all, you did feel completely like you didn't have any worries. To me, it didn't feel like you had any worries at all because there were 0 exceptions for being vaccinated on Virgin. You either were or you didn't go.
Did you wear masks on Virgin?
When we went, the week that we went, you did not, but the week after we went, they started sort of buttoning that up a little bit. And then as the weeks went on, they did mandate that you did have to wear the mask. And it's like what Natalie said at the beginning, you cannot say that later today it will be the same as it is right now, much
True.
less tomorrow
Very
or
true.
next month. There are no guarantees whatsoever about it. So my advice is stay informed. Stay
Mhm.
informed.
Work with a
and-
travel advisor.
Right.
Yeah.
We'll help you with
Things
that.
are
We'll
changing
absolutely help you with
moment to
that.
Exactly.
moment.
Like, for sure.
So Karen's on a cruise now. So Karen, give us the update.
Well,
What's it
first of
like to
all,
cruise at this very moment?
yeah. Well, first of all, I started traveling after the mask mandate was lifted. So on aircraft, it is
Oh,
now optional for masking. So if you
Today.
are still, yeah, right, today. So if you are
Today.
still uncomfortable with not wearing a mask, I am still wearing a mask, and no one has bothered me about my choosing to wear a mask. Most of the aircraft did not wear masks, didn't have any issue with that. Capacity is rising now on cruise ships very carefully. I am sailing with Royal Caribbean right now on Enchantment of the Seas, a really nice Southeast cruise before we go out to the Perfect Day at Coco Cay, and then we'll be on in the Bahamas. I would say capacity on this ship at this moment is probably about 70%. It's starting to go up more and more. But again, the staff and crew are wonderful. And I'm traveling solo, and they're doing an excellent job taking care of me traveling solo. The dining rooms, they're now not separating. They're filling up the tables. So there's no every other table. But you can just let them know, for example, masks are actually optional now for fully vaccinated guests. Unvaccinated guests still should be wearing masks on board.
So Karen, let me ask you a question. Are they still doing, basically when we did our Freedom of the Seas, you're on Royal, right?
Yes.
For the Freedom of the Seas, you had a wristband that said vaccinated on it. Are they still doing that today?
Only children are now wearing the wristbands. Adults are not. But you do have to have a negative PCR test to board. You do have to have a negative PCR test to board. So that's still in place.
If you're unvaccinated or for everyone?
For everybody.
Okay.
So no matter what your vaccination status is, you must have a negative PCR test to board as of this moment.
Right. Yeah.
Because
I
we never
have
know when it's
to
going to change.
the cruise lines have done an excellent job.
Yes, they have.
The rules keep flip-flopping, people's stress levels keep flip-flopping. In terms of advice, try and keep them as loose as possible, because things will change. Know that things are going to change. Give yourself extra time. Everyone has your best interest, your safety, but also your fun experience. I was fortunate to be on Celebrity's newly refurbished Millennium.
Yes.
It was fabulous. It was not full capacity yet. Highly recommend, if you have been thinking about a cruise, go sooner rather than later.
Yes.
It's
especially
filling up.
You can go right away. Like
Exactly.
Shoulder season, so for sure.
There's not going to be a whole lot of deals out there, but you will have an incredible experience. As you were saying, Natalie, the people are so appreciative. I was also on a river cruise. On a river cruise, you're going through different countries as they are changing their own rules.
Right.
So you go outside and you have to be masked everywhere you go. In one country, the next country, you're no masks at all. And it's kind of whiplash. So
the best piece of advice there is just have your mask like in your pocket.
Just have one.
Make sure it's a KN95, and then you're good to go. Be prepared. That's my motto. Be prepared
and be flexible.
Always bring your vaccination card in your purse or your wallet, or have it with you everywhere you go.
Absolutely.
And in Europe, actually, they prefer paper masks rather than the cloth masks that we have here.
Interesting.
In Italy, of course, it's color coordinates with your outfit.
Love it. Yeah, Laia,
naturally in Italy.
Let's talk about Europe. because you were recently there, and
Yes.
let's talk about what's going on there.
Italy just dropped their restrictions. Of course, if you are an Italian, you must be vaccinated in order to work or you'll be fined. So pretty much the entire population that's a working populace is vaccinated. As an American
Awesome.
going, just have your vaccination card and you're fine. You do not have to wear a mask outdoors. You do not have to wear a mask depending where in museums.
Okay.
The Vatican is its own country. So if
Correct,
you're going
right.
to Rome, the lines are long. That's where flexibility is key, and make an appointment. If you're going before July, make sure you don't just, I want to buy a ticket and be, there's no showing up.
Yeah.
So it's very important to have a reservation. But it's wonderful. Italy's always glorious.
Yes.
If you're unvaccinated, you'll eat outside and the weather's getting gorgeous. So why wouldn't you want to?
Right.
But you're still, for travel to Italy, you need to be vaccinated still.
Okay.
Okay.
And no
But
matter where you
what about
go, it's
air
important to pack your patience.
Absolutely.
Oh, I love that.
Back your patience.
Oh my
That's
gosh, yes, absolutely.
Tagline.
Absolutely.
100.
That is a great tagline.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Flying was kind of interesting. I just came back from Poland. On the airplane, you weren't required to wear a mask until you got to America. And then to get off the plane, we had to put on masks because that was right before the mask mandate was lifted. So again, as Michelle said, put it in have your masks with you. The 3-ply surgical masks tend to be more comfortable for flying.
Right.
I have found, but you find yourself, whatever, there are airline soft masks, KN95, different kinds now, ones that don't kill your ear.
Yes.
You know, so
use a head
have
strap.
it just in case.
Use a head strap. I use a head strap on my mask, so that way I get a good fit, because it actually pulls the mask closer to your face. So that's an idea. You can get these straps on Amazon, like 20 for like $9. So if
Good
you're
idea.
interested in
Good
using
idea.
a head strap to keep your mask on and get a better fit, you can also use those K94 masks. For some people, those are more comfortable. Those little origami shaped masks. Some of those are a little more comfortable if you're still interested in wearing a mask when you travel. So
in Europe, there are some requirements for them to be the KN95s, which is
Interesting.
You have to know which country.
Yeah, right. So, I mean, it's almost like be prepared to the most stringent standard, which is the KN95. So you could have alternates. You could have these, and you could have the blue surgicals. You could do those, but if you want to, when it's not a mandate, but if it is mandated as KN95, you don't want to have the other and then have somebody say, I'm sorry, do you have the other kind? So always have the strictest requirement and then carry the other if you want to.
Yeah,
that's a good idea.
Lael, anything that you can tell us about flights to Italy?
So not just Italy, but all Schengen countries, that's the 26. Once you fly into one, you are under the auspices of all of them.
Correct.
So as long as you're not going out, you won't have to pick up your bags, which is always nice. And you also don't have to get the forms for the COVID, etc. So you are okay from going to one to another. And especially as my most recent flight, which was now 2.5 weeks ago, I was going in and out of different countries. I was a bit confused, but it all, as Amy so eloquently said, I love this tagline, pack your patience. It will work out. There are no such things as directions that make sense for Americans. But people are nice and just ask.
Awesome.
And give yourself, when you're booking your flights or when we are booking your flights for you, a little extra time in layovers, just so you can move around.
Yes, please. Yeah, ask for our help with that, because please give yourself time to make any transitions. Lines in airports are long, even for domestic flights. So if you see those little, short bookings between flights, don't chance it. Please do not chance it. Please work with us to be sure that you have enough time between your flights, whether domestic or international, because you never know what's going to happen with the lines. And Leah, we're going to keep going back to Amy. Please pack your patience. People have to remember that we're just getting going again. So it is not like the before time where you can just jump on a plane or some transport and get where you're going. They're still ramping up flight schedules. They're still ramping up staffing. So just be prepared. So please allow enough time. If we're going to book your flights for you, let us put some time pad in there and get to the airport a little bit early, because security lines are still a little long right now. So that's something that you need to, keep in mind as well. So Amy, now where have you been? And give us your experience on some travel that you've done recently.
Well, so recently I was on the Symphony of the Seas with Royal Caribbean, and we went to St. Thomas and St. Martin.
Mm-hmm.
And when we were in St. Martin, we went on an open air tour. So the bus was, we were up on top, so we didn't have to wear our mask.
Okay.
But when we got off of the bus, we did have to have our mask even out, like in the farmers market areas and stuff. St. Thomas, we wore a mask everywhere. So
okay.
I don't know what their recent, this was back in February. Symphony of the Seas was at 40% capacity. So
nice.
It seemed like it was a ghost town.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a big ship. That's
a big
more
one.
than half the people. Yeah.
That's a big ship. Yeah.
And so actually until like the week before we went on it, it was the largest ship in the world. And it was great. You can even feel that you were on the water. So for people who have seasickness issues, I think a big ship is the way to go. We also were fortunate enough to have a balcony, which was incredible. So we spent a lot of time, get your wine and coffee and go out and sit on that. So you could kind of social distance.
Sign me up.
At the same time. But in our cabin, we also, they had masks in our cabin. They had hand sanitizer in the cabin.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So
you're right.
It was available everywhere.
Yes.
You went.
Yes.
And I know we've been talking almost exclusively about flying. It was back at the end of 21, but when we were flying, and Lyle, you can, and anybody else who's been on a plane, they also gave us like these little hand sanitizer. I have one in my bag still, that it's like a single serving, as it were, to sanitize your hands. Like as you got on, they gave you one and a wipe to like clean down your table and your armrests. I don't know if you're still doing that.
Yes, they are. Yes, they are.
But so,
well, and also between flights, they were sanitizing the aircraft. So
the airplanes have never been so clean.
No, I'm telling you.
I hope they keep that up. I hope that's a thing that
I hope it
some,
is too.
Things that stay, but also with resorts. So the resorts are doing the same thing, where they have, when you get to your room, or at least when we were there, they were doing the same thing. There was like a little thing of face mask, and there was a little thing of hand sanitizer. So every experience that I've had has been one where they're trying to make everyone as safe as they can. And, it's the ball's in your court when you are given a packet of face masks and hand sanitizer and sanitary wipes. If you're given these things, they're saying, we're preparing you, it's up to you to take advantage of it. So they're not, nobody's like you're not at the front desk and somebody's saying, put this on right now in front of me. It's not like that. It's you're a grown-up. you make the decision.
Thank you, Michelle, for bringing that up. One of the things I was noticing both in Peru and then just recently in Budapest you have the option of having your room cleaned
Mhm.
every day or every
Mhm.
3 days. And that's
Mhm.
something for you. One of the reasons,
Mhm.
of course, is there's a worldwide lack of people who are cleaning. They just don't have the staff. Some,
Mhm.
although but they're happy to do it. It's really your choice as a client what you feel comfortable with. Do you really
Mhm.
need somebody to make your bed every single
Mhm.
day?
And you can say yes. And I think that the good news is that you can say yes. When you see the housekeeping staff, they're probably wearing a face mask, they're probably wearing gloves, and you don't need to feel worried about having somebody go into your room. So if you are a person, it's like, I don't get to live like this at my house. I make my own bed. Nobody is going to be here and clean the bathroom for
not.
me every day. So you can
We're not.
say, it's okay to
Mhm.
say, yes, please send housekeeping every day. I
Yes.
like to be pampered when I'm, away from home. So
Mhm.
it's about the luxury of choice.
Mhm.
And you have
Oh,
the
I like that tagline too.
Me
the luxury of
too.
choice to
Good
have
one.
it or to say, oh, I don't want to have it. But you don't have to feel bad if you say, oh
Right.
yes, I'm looking
Right.
forward to being pampered
Right.
while I'm away. So,
Yeah.
And
Absolutely.
I think that's the important thing, to take the initiative at the beginning. Don't get mad if they didn't say it, because they may have been following this policy for a year and they
Mhm.
don't realize that people may not know that it has to be requested.
Exactly.
It's something
Exactly.
they are staffed to do. Everybody is ramping back up. People
Mhm.
want to get out there.
People do.
And what's really wonderful about traveling right now is everybody's really pleased to see you. So you are
Yes.
going to be traveling
Yes.
and you are the celebrity, because they want you to come and show you their wares, show you their
Mhm.
beautiful countries.
Mhm.
Go. It's
Yeah.
terrific.
Absolutely. Please, everyone,
Well, and
get up and go. Get up and go. It's
Go.
time. It's
and I
time.
feel that, so there's countries that are requiring vaccinations. They're
Mhm.
requiring testing.
Sure.
So those people who aren't feeling real comfortable about traveling right now, then you have the option of going to places that have stricter rules.
Mhm.
If you're a person that you're not worried about it, you can go to countries that are not requiring vaccination, not requiring testing.
Mhm.
As of now, you still have to test to get back into the United States.
Yeah.
But I know we traveled to Antigua, we traveled to Jamaica.
Mhm.
In both countries, getting off of the airline, going into the airport, you felt safer there than you did shopping at your local grocery store.
Probably,
You get
yeah.
off the airplane, you have to sanitize. You go to customs, you have to sanitize. You go get your bag, you have to sanitize. It was like
Mhm.
sanitize. So
Yes.
Oh,
their livelihood is tourism, and they want to protect
right.
the
Thank you.
tourists.
Exactly.
Thank you for that.
Exactly. Yeah.
Thank you. Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah, we took a taxi in Cozumel, and we did a tour in Roatan, and so even though you weren't required to be vaccinated to go to those countries, actually all of the people in tourism were required to be vaccinated.
Right.
So
Yeah.
Right.
they were very eager to tell us that, and they all masked, just so
Mhm.
you know, everyone that has a license to drive a taxi, everyone that, all these tour companies, we are required to be vaccinated and boosted. So it was nice because, we were only there for the day because it was on a cruise ship, but, I felt very comfortable. So.
That's awesome. So lastly, I just wanted to say that, we are still having, issues all around the world. So make sure
Sure.
that you're checking with your travel advisor will help you to make sure you know the protocols before you go. Just what we've all been saying. And yeah, let's get traveling and have a great
That's
time.
right. This is what we do all day, every day. We want to help you get out there. That's the reason we're out here traveling as well. We're here to show you that you can do it. You can do it safely. You can do it and feel comfortable, no matter how you get there. Work with us. We'll tell you what the protocols are, because we're not going to send you out there, not knowing what you need to do. And we're out here so we can tell you exactly what it's like. So that's what this episode's for. So we can let you know it's out there. It's wonderful. Like I said, everybody, all of us have been traveling. I'm on a cruise right now. So
I'm leaving next week.
Love it, love it, love it.
I'm loving it. So yeah, please
Great.
reach out to us if you're ready to go and you're tired of waiting. Get in touch with one of us and we'll help you get wherever it is you need to go.
Exactly.
We're
Well,
here
thanks.
for you. Thank you.
Yes. And thanks so much for being with us this month. We are so glad that you're here. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button below and the bell to let you know when we have more content. Want to reach out to us? Watch all the way through to the end and see our contact information. Thank you so much, everyone, and see you next month.
Yay!
Hit the
Thanks,
subscribe
everybody.
button.
Hit the subscribe. Don't forget.